If you're planning to switch your visa or move to the UK through business or entrepreneurship, this one decision you cannot afford to get wrong. Self-sponsorship or Innovator founder visa, two popular UK routes, but very different in risk, cost, flexibility, and long-term settlement options. Choosing the wrong one can lead to visa refusal, business failure, or years of delay in getting ILR. In today's podcast, we are doing a clear, honest, side-by-side comparison of self-sponsorship versus Innovator founder visa, covering eligibility, investment, business ideas, approval risk, and settlement timelines based on real cases, not marketing promises. To break this down properly, I'm joined by Amil from Mac25 Immigration, a UK immigration expert who has worked on both self-sponsorship structures and Innovator founder endorsements and understands what the Home Office and endorsement bodies actually look for. We'll talk about which visa suits students, PSW holders, entrepreneurs, and experienced professionals, and what types of businesses get approved or rejected, and which route gives you more control and freedom over your business in the UK. So if you're serious about starting a business in the UK or securing long-term settlement, make sure you watch this episode till the end. It could save you time, money, and a visa refusal. So let's get started by introducing you guys to Amil. Hi Amil, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. And if you don't mind, like always, can you introduce yourself to my audience, please?
So now I think pretty much everybody knows my name, but my name is Mohammad Amil, an ex-international student, working very hard to help each and everyone, somebody like us, have a dream who came from back home to have a journey and be settled in the UK ethically and legally. Company name is Mac25 London, based in Canary Wharf. With all love, we are all here for you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. So today's topic is, again, maybe one of your favorite topic, self-sponsorship, but we are not going to talk only about self-sponsorship. We are doing a comparison with another visa category in the UK, which is Innovator founder visa. Okay. So I have written down a few questions for you and we'll go through in detail to understand the difference between two and who should apply for self-sponsorship versus Innovator founder visa. So we'll talk about that in detail. Okay, so we'll start with the first question. So what is the key difference between self-sponsorship and Innovator founder visa?
Huge difference, I would say.
Okay, let's begin then.
Because as we already know, self-sponsorship is just a term. It is exactly the same as a skilled worker visa.
Correct.
The only difference is that the employee of the company is also the director and shareholder. That makes you self-sponsored. But Innovator founder is completely like a business visa because UK do not have business visas anymore. So Innovator founder is something which is completely a business visa where there is a layer of an endorsement body between you and the Home Office. So I think the difference between is it's still the self-sponsorship count as an employment visa, but Innovator founder is out and out a business visa.
Yeah, but again, Innovator founder visa is not for everyone. There are certain rules and regulations whose business ideas can be approved versus which cannot be. So we will talk about it in a bit, but let's understand who is self-sponsorship ideal for and who is the Innovator founder valid for or ideal for.
I think, let's not discriminate between who it's ideal for and who not. At the end of the day, what I always think that if you have an innovative, scalable and viable idea, then I think you should always go for the Innovator founder route, because the number one advantage is you do not need to show any amount of investment in order to get Innovator founder. That's thing number one. But the only thing I'm, skeptical about, I get loads and loads of emails with business plans and I see, and the plans are fantastic, but most of them are rejected because I have seen some AI projects as well from my clients, but they do not go to that stage. And the only reason is, maybe we'll talk about the statistics going forward, but Innovator founder visa is only for the people whose idea is completely different. While in self-sponsorship, you can start a convenience store and get a sponsor license on them. So I think for self-sponsorship, there is no such requirement of what kind of business you have to be into. But the main requirement of Innovator founder is all about your business. It's all about the industry you're into and how innovative you can become and contribute to the UK economy. That's all that matters.
Can I ask a simple question with an example? So say someone who wants to open a restaurant,
Right.
And of course, say they have some huge investment, they got some money back from India or from their partners.
Right.
And they have planned first to start in city 1 and then they want to scale that up in city 2, city 3. And of course, if they are opening their restaurant, they will be hiring staff as well.
Yeah.
So do you think a simple business ideas of having a restaurant can make them eligible for Innovator Founder Visa?
Unless you're having a cloud restaurant, it would be a different thing. Like you would be taking people into a cloud or something related to IT and AI, or maybe the chef would come at home and feed you. But see, jokes apart, at the end of the day, any simplistic idea like having a restaurant or a salon or anything which is very much common, and we can find it in every street of UK, is not eligible for Innovator Founder. Because as the name suggests, Innovator Founder, it has to be innovative idea which is different. And I think the expectation of the endorsement bodies have reached really high. So I think they really want to give the endorsement letters to people who actually can be very different and put UK on the map as far as the innovation is concerned.
Yeah. But I would like to debate a little bit more, because I have two real examples of ex-international student who had created very similar websites. Their website was to find a visa sponsored job for immigrants, international students.
Right.
So there are already maybe hundreds or thousands of websites which exist today.
Right.
They were already competing with that. So those websites exist today, and they created their own version of a website to help people to land a sponsor job. Basically, taking the data from a license sponsor from the government, so that only the license company they apply with.
Of course.
So they got approval in Innovator Founder Visa. So my question is, again, taking stupid example of a restaurant, it can be anything. So again, what they proved was they're helping. They found a problem, they created a solution around it, and they submitted a blueprint, like a draft of how the website should work. So if that can get an approval, why something, and which was also showing, okay, we will be hiring developers, we need someone to maintain the website, and then of course we need more developers to keep updating with the AI bit. So they are showing that it's bringing some revenue to the government, which is helping the UK economy grow. So why a restaurant example do you think will not be approved for Innovator Founder Visa?
Amazing. Okay, so let's break it down. Okay, restaurant is a commoditized industry. Okay, the demand for the restaurants are not as high as some portal where students are looking for the jobs. So here there are 1,000 people who wants to look for a job, but only 10 people who want to eat another Indian cuisine, or any kind of different kind of a Greek cuisine, you say. So you have to look at the demand as well. So when your idea actually goes to the endorsement body, they see, do we actually have demand for this kind of idea, right? We are getting millions of students, okay, in long amount of time. They are coming into the UK and they see the numbers are getting really very high. So they know there is a demand for such jobs, for such opportunities. But when you talk about something for a restaurant, you don't get that amount of demand. The market is completely commoditized. Whereas if you look at over here, obviously when somebody makes a website for students to help them in getting a skilled job, they would be having their own filters, they would be having their own databases. Obviously they are not replicating exactly the same thing. But here if you look at the demand, the restaurant would be 10% out of 100, but student is like sky high.
Okay. I don't have real example of Innovative Founder Visa where a restaurant got approval or not. I have no idea. At least people have not reached out to me. So people who reached out to me, like ex-international students, was about all websites. So my knowledge is limited on that. So I'm quite curious actually to know, what kind of ideas get approved for Innovator Founder Visa versus which ones are rejected.
I'll give you one practical example. Last year when I was in India, I got one client in 2024 and they had a great plan related to AI. Obviously, I cannot talk about that. But I actually thought it would be a cakewalk for them to get an endorsement letter. But they were rejected 2 times.
Why?
Because they got a big report from the endorsement body that there are few points that they need to make sure that they come over that and they reapply again. So they reapplied for the 3rd time, they got rejected again. So I think it highly depends, the panel of the endorsement body depends whether they feel whatever looks good on the paper does not mean it would be good for the country as well, or maybe it actually would materialize or execute it. So it's not just about what I can do it on the paper. it should make sense that whether it should be executed well or not. So I think there are so many permutations and combinations which obviously they wouldn't be biased because they get hundreds and thousands of applications as well. If they get a unique restaurant as well, then maybe we could have a case study about a restaurant getting an Innovator Founder Visa.
Yeah. So based on what you're saying and explaining, so anyone who got a simple restaurant business idea, so it's better opt for self-sponsorship visa as compared to Innovator Founder Visa, where the chances are low that it will be approved.
Yeah. See, in Feb 2024, the rejection rate of the endorsement is 37%.
37?
And that's in the report.
Okay.
The rejection rate is 37%. The the approval rate after you get the endorsement is 97.6%.
What?
So, yeah, understand this, okay? There are people who advertise the Innovator Founder Visa as the visa success rate is 97.6. But what they don't advertise, first they need to get an endorsement where the success rate is only 37%.
Right.
So out of those 37% people, 97.6% of the people are getting the visa applications.
Yeah. Because you've already got endorsed. When you have the endorsing letter, what is there to
Exactly.
apply the visa with all the relevant documents?
That's true. So I think the facts are not being advertised well. That's where my main concern is. And because of this 97.6, people are thinking, oh, is it that easy? Maybe Amil just wanted to get us into the other route. So we need to understand the facts and then go ahead.
Okay. So anybody who's watching this video, if you have managed to get Innovator Founder Visa, I really want you to come here and share your journey and maybe your business idea, because I'm quite curious to know what kind of business ideas are being approved. I'm sure something related to AI, someone who's doing
of course.
good job with the AI because the country needs and the whole world is moving towards AI. I'm sure if somebody has cracked those ideas, they will have a good chance of approval
100%,
as well.
yes.
Okay, thanks, Amil. So let's move to the next part, which is all about the investment. Okay, self-sponsorship again versus Innovator Founder Visa. Let's start with Innovator Founder Visa. Is there any minimum investment which needs to be shown for Innovator Founder Visa?
See, Sarika, whether you talk about a sponsor license for skilled worker or whether you talk about the Innovator Founder route, there has been no set guidance by the Home Office that you need a specific amount of money to get these kind of visas or approval for that sake. Okay. But I think the sensibility comes in when you actually show a business which is capital heavy and you don't have money in the account. So whatever type of client I get, whether we get Innovator Founder clients or whether we get, let's say, self-sponsorship clients, they have just the idea on the paper. But if the company is not financially sound enough, there is no way you're getting either one of them. So if, let's say, if you're having a restaurant and if you don't have enough money, let's say for the lease agreement or maybe to have a place, to have a chef at least, to have all this, kitchen equipments and all those sorts of things, then how are you going to trade in the first place? So I think your finance should be at least sensible enough and it should be justifiable to the Home Office that you have invested this amount of money and this much you have, so that either you can hire or either you can trade your business in the future, at least for the first 6 months. Then I think you have got a good chance. But if you don't have credible investment and sensibilities over there, I don't think it doesn't make sense.
Okay. In the old visa, if you remember, Amil, startup visa, I believe that was called
Innovator Visa.
Oh, okay, it was Innovator Visa, yeah. Where, if I remember correctly, so £50,000, which was mentioned that you have to show in your account or investment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And this visa category, the new one that we have, it's combination of that Innovator Founder Visa, but they removed that minimum criteria, which was by the government. Yeah?
Yes.
So how I have understood, it's your business. Yeah. So you can invest anything.
Yeah.
If you're creating this website, like I was talking about, if you require 2 or 3 developers, then of course you invest in that business and then you pay them to show you're creating this website and then take that blueprint to the endorsing body for that, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And also for self-sponsorship visa, if anybody is applying, of course, if it will be their business, they have to show some investment in terms of how they're planning to run it. If they don't have money, how are they planning to run their own business? So there's no minimum investment as set by the company or by the Home Office. It's just that you need to put that money, what is required to run your business, right?
And for the Innovator Founder, obviously the endorsement bodies are not looking at how much money you have in terms of hiring. They are looking in terms of how you're going to able to manage this business. Because for sponsor license, we need to show that we need to have enough money so that we can hire people. At the same time, how are you going to hire and trade? This is what the home office is looking at. So this is a vast difference between both these visas, where the endorsement body is assessing before the home office, and here the home office is directly assessing the company on the basis of the money, how you're going to trade and how are you going to hire.
Correct. Okay, I'm going to ask next question. I know nothing is easy today, but still I'm going to ask, which visa route is easier to get approved and which one has a higher rejection risk?
I wish I could say that. I wish I could. At the end of the day, we have seen both kind of visas getting approved and refused, and both have their own credibility requirements, conditions, and all those sorts of things. But I guess before even jumping on the fact that which one is easy, I want to jump on the fact that what is the founder requirement is. Do they want to go for self sponsorship or they want to go for innovator founder? Because it usually depends on the kind of a business they are into. Let's say, taking a restaurant example, if they are into a restaurant business, then I think they should move towards a self sponsorship, which is a skilled worker sponsor license. And innovator founder is something which is quite innovative in its own way. But to answer your question, I still feel getting a skilled worker sponsor license is much more easier because of the requirements as compared to the innovator founder. And the only reason is there is an added layer between your visa approval of an endorsement body.
Okay, but I also have something to add here, and it's something related to ILR.
Okay.
One of my subscriber reached out to me and booked a meeting saying he got innovator founder visa.
Right.
So we think once you get a visa, innovator founder visa, you are set. Yeah, in 3 years you get your ILR.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
Right.
He had not been able to fulfill all the criterias after getting it.
Right.
I think they have a checkpoint meeting every 6 months or so, or 3 months. I don't know.
Yeah, every 3 to 6 months. Yes.
And then he was not able to prove or show evidence of how he planned to scale his business.
Right.
And at the end of 3 years, so the visa he got was 3 years,
Yes.
because he was not able to prove that, it means he's not eligible to apply for ILR.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I thought once you get your innovator founder visa, it's a 3 years, you just go and apply your ILR. But he was not allowed to apply for ILR. It means you have to leave the country within, 30 days, 60 days, if you don't switch to another thing.
Exactly.
So coming back to your point, so that one reason you already mentioned, the second is also the ILR rules. You know? Because once you are on a skilled visa, basically, or self-sponsorship visa, which is like a skilled visa. So as long as you are fulfilling those duties and along that you're getting your salary on time, you are on the path of this ILR for 5 years. As compared to, it's not true for innovator founder visa.
I mean, in innovator founder, even if you don't look at the inspections done by the endorsement body, but stand alone, the requirement of ILR for innovator founder is really difficult. Like, one of them is you need to hire 5 resident workers with a minimum salary of £25,000 a year. So I think in itself, you need to show that the business is financially really good in order to sustain it in the future. That's what the endorsement body and the home office wants to see. So I don't feel that if your business is good enough, running well, that's not enough. Your financial needs to be very strong in order to fulfill those IRR conditions.
True. And again, one of the students who reached out to me, and I have also hosted him on my channel, he said he had, when he was given innovator founder visa, he also got skilled visa already. So he had a choice which one to take. He opted for skilled visa because the ILR route was easier, he thought. Yes, it will take him longer, like 5 years instead of 3 years, but he thought it was an easier path for him as compared to innovator founder visa. So he took the skilled visa. That was his journey, but that's what people also opting.
I mean, I saw that video, and I think I think from that video I can actually take out the practicality is you have to be sensible enough rather than rushing and being greedy about that. I have my own business now. You need to understand the repercussions and your future plans. Are you here for a temporary basis,
Yeah.
or maybe you're here for a long time.
He did say he wasn't sure if he'll be able to give employment to 10 people, for example.
Yeah.
And he wasn't sure about it, and he didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
And so he opted for skill visa. But that was his rationale.
That's true.
Yeah. So anybody who is on an Innovator Founder visa, I'm really interested to know your story. If you want to reach out to me and be part of the podcast, email at yourknowledgebuddy@gmail.com. On that note, moving to the next question, Amin. So can someone switch from a student visa into a self-sponsorship or Innovator Founder visa?
And there is an interesting update from 25th of November 2025, and it's there in the guidance as well. As a student, once you complete your studies and you want to opt for Innovator Founder route only, you can register a company on your own name.
Wow, from 25th of November 2025.
Exactly. But you need to complete your studies for that. That's thing number one.
Yeah.
Thing number two, you cannot trade, you cannot monetize, and you cannot start it working for your company.
Okay.
Once you finish your course, once you opt for your Innovator Founder business, and once you get the endorsement, then obviously you can monetize, because the visa conditions would be completely different. But as far as the new guidance is suggesting, you can register a company on your own name only for the Innovator Founder route.
Fantastic.
Coming back to self-sponsorship, you cannot register a business or you cannot register a company if you're looking to get a self-sponsorship. You need to switch to a graduate route, and then you can start your own business, and from there on you can build up your company and start your journey.
Correct. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Amil. Moving to the next question. So, what are the biggest mistakes people make when choosing between the two?
I think first they need to realize whether they are able to fulfill the criterias, either one of them. Okay, so let's say if you have got a good business which is innovative, viable and scalable, you can move to Innovator Founder. But you need to understand, do not just blindly go and choose visa categories. As you rightly said, you need to think about 3 years down the line or 5 years down the line. Whatever kind of business you are starting, even if it is innovative, would you be able to suffice that? Would you be able to meet the visa conditions and maybe the ILR conditions, and whether the endorsement body is going to be happy with your business? This is point number one. Same thing for self-sponsorship. Getting a sponsor license on skilled worker visa do not mean that you can just sustain your business for a long time.
Right.
If let's say you started a big resort as well, or a big restaurant, if you're not able to pay yourself a salary as per the skilled worker requirement, and obviously you yourself cannot run the entire business, you would need a team to run the business. How are you going to manage that? So don't think about short-term goals. And this is my request to each and every one of us who's coming for the consultation and the meeting. I always ask them to plan 5 years or 3 years down the line.
Yeah, true.
How do you feel your business and your money and your finance is going to look like? We all don't know. It's very uncertain. But do you still have plans? Do you still feel that, and you have faith in your business, whether you will be able to get it back out of something or not? That's the question.
True. Thank you, Amil. So we talked a lot today on this topic, self-sponsorship versus Innovator Founder visa. Of course, I believe this brings some clarity to my audience as well. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap today's video?
I think, whatever we discussed today, as you said, it's applicants' rational, what they want to choose, whether it's Innovator Founder. We are not here to, advocate which one is right or which one is wrong. We have to keep a clear picture. We have to stop people from thinking that anything among the two is easy. If you really feel your business is good enough, you can go for the Innovator Founder. Maybe you can take something innovative out of your common business as well. But as far as the common research and every numbers go, any commoditized business is not suitable for Innovator Founder. We wish everyone all the best, and see you.
Yeah. Thank you, Amil. And if you guys need any legal help, you know where to go. All the details are in my pinned comment and description. And you guys can reach out to us at ykb@mac25.co.uk. Thank you, Amil. Thank you for coming and recording this video.
Thank you.